Hello everyone, a warm welcome to a fresh edition of Your Image, the first public relations program, television program in Africa on TV. My name is Dari Folarin. Today we are looking at the employability, improving the employability of youth, public relations tips. And I'm glad to welcome back your usual host, Akin Okudero, who is here with us. Mr. Okudero, you're welcome.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
And to help us to unpack the topic, we have with us a leadership expert and somebody who is representing the John Maxwell Foundation in Africa. I'm glad to introduce Dr. Sonny Phillips. Dr. Phillips, you're welcome. Yeah, today is a unique day. 29th of May. It's unique in more ways than one. You know, today marks the 27th year that we are having our unbroken democracy. That's cause for joy. Also, Mr. Okudero, you'd like to say something about our patron?
Well, we would also like to celebrate our distinguished patron, a fellow of the NIPR. That's Dr. Prince Dapo Abiodun, the executive governor of Ogun State, CON, okay? We are happy to celebrate him, and he has been a great pillar to public relations, not only in Ogun State, but also in Nigeria
and Africa.
Congratulations, sir.
Happy birthday to our governor, our darling governor. So, Dr. Sonny, they are talking about the employability of youth. Even a fintech chief days back said that he's not finding graduates to employ, that they are not employable, and he took a step further. He gave 3 universities 1 billion naira each for them to improve their curriculum and everything. First off, is this correct? Is this a correct assessment of our youth?
It depends on where you're looking at it from. Okay. The taste of the pudding is in it, the actual experience. So he, as an employer, can see reality at a moment of truth. It's not thinking, it's not saying that from theory. He's saying it at the point of him requiring personnel and declaring advert and doing all he could and could not find. So that's the reality on the field. That's the reality. And anyone that runs business, highly specialized business as that, they will say is valid. That's why we even have foreign countries recruiting from some developing countries. So it's valid, but I know the assertion was contested. Okay, here and there. But the challenge with employability is not something you review at the output side. You look at the inputs. Okay. You look at the vision of the government. Where does the gown meet the town? Right. So everything, if it doesn't synergize and you are waiting to critique the output of a story that was not well curated, the result is what he's telling us, that he at the receiving end, this is his experience. Okay. If it had been a positive way, we also have said, this is my experience.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Okudero, what are the public relations tips that we can give our graduates? Because this is feedback, feedback coming to our graduates that they need to do more.
Probably we also need to do a little bit of research and then look into where we are today and how we have arrived at this moment. There is this research which says that about 260 million youths are stubbornly categorized as myths. That is not in employment, not in education, and not in training. So which means when you have a bulk of youths who are in that category, it then means that there are some things that are already lacking, that is not placing them in an employable situation. And what are the causes? The causes are that, just as Dr. Sonny said, when you look at the curriculum in academic institutions, it's rather based on what we call rote theory. Right. So, which means the adaptability, the needed skills that these youth need nowadays are not there. And you look at what is happening? When you look at apprenticeship, when you look at mentorship, when you look at the issue of skills that are required, which means look at graphics, look at the area of AI, look at the area of so many things that are currently trending in the world. So when you look at those depths, you realize that a lot of all these youths are lacking. Only a fraction of them are inclined into all this new technology, new drive that is making them to be employable.
Okay, you've identified for us the gaps. Dr. Phillips, how can we fill these gaps? Because this is feedback for our graduates.
So the way we need to fill the gap is from top down.
Okay. What do you
There's a
recommend?
reason for having leadership and governance in place for any community. Part of the reason is also this, to establish a pathway for fulfilled lives for a citizen.
Right.
How do you get that? You want to engineer a space that will be unpacked, be livable, be improving their lifestyle, be improving their well-being. That's development. People have to build those infrastructures. People have to create those experiences. Okay, for this particular experience, how many people do we need in this direction? How many people do we need in this direction? How many people in this direction? How do we produce them? So we can't isolate the youth.
Right.
And pin him and say, thou art guilty. No, it's a process.
Okay.
That someone must have framed. And then the youth will have his own call within that space.
Okay.
The schools, we have their own mandate within that overall vision.
Okay.
The government, the NGOs, they will have their own mandate. Everything is based on putting into this bigger vision that someone has seen, has owned, and is curated.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Mr. Okudero, because now it's often said that heaven helps those who help themselves. The graduates now, they need to do something. What in specific terms will you recommend for the graduates today so that they can be globally competitive? The world is a global village.
Well, the youth of nowadays must be available to mentorship. They must be available for what we call selfless service. They must be available to volunteering, because it is when you are engaged in such activities that you can get the nitty-gritty of the skills that will prepare you for the future. Nowadays, how many of them, except that Industrial Training Fund is also trying to help them to integrate them technologically. If you look at the percentage of the people that are thoroughly engaged in organizational skills, what I mean by that, those people who are carrying skills that can give them life in the near future, very minimal. So the youth are looking for money, and if you don't get prepared for the future, the money will not come. So what we are now appealing to them is that not even them alone. Dr. Tony talked about the issue of stakeholders. Government must recognize that they must provide the facilities, so infrastructural facilities that can make them to be meaningfully engaged. Even the institutions that we are talking about, they need to think about their own syllabus to meet with the current trend all over the world. And then when you look at the companies too must provide the space for them to come and practice, to learn new things. And then beyond that, they must also be interested in reaching out to organizations and have a meeting point where they can be able to regulate both the theory, balance the theory and the practical. So that when they are fully integrated, then things can happen. Their life can be shaped towards meeting the world standard.
Okay, one major activity is thinking. Ability to think of quick and effective solutions. Do you think our graduates are thinkers?
That you've touched on a critical point. Actually, a few days ago, I was thinking of doing a story around this. Thinking is a hard work. It's a laborious, intentional effort. It's not an easy task. So how do you think when you are immersed in perpetual distraction. Phone, several WhatsApp, several social media. So our youth, majority of our youth are so disillusioned that they are now so available and addicted to distraction. So the time to even think, they don't find it worthy to create it. And that's why you see all sorts of peer pressure, because they are following thoughts of some other people. They can't pull themselves out and say, out of this volume of opportunity that I imagine, how can I crystallize a pathway of success for myself? So thinking is critical. It's thinking that brings you to self-awareness and self-discovery to now find your place in the total picture.
Okay.
So everything that is now happening that is distractive and distracting our youth will make them poorer utilization of these opportunities that are evolving.
Okay. Mr. Okudero, what are the things that youth can do to improve their thinking ability? What games can they play in their leisure? You know, like
it starts with the family.
Right.
It starts with the family. Because for a family that is visionary, you now know that you need to provide an environment where the thinking capability can be enhanced. It is not to provide for a kid that will grow him.
Can't they kids on their own land?
No, you know,
information available on
from the
information superhighway now.
From the childhood,
right.
The environment develops a person. The things that are made available develop the brain. So, but beyond that, you need to challenge them. For example, nowadays people only believe that you need to go to school and learn, whereas you must expose them to some skill acquisition opportunities.
Right.
That is basic. The issue of graphic design, the issue of AI, even learning some things electronically, even going out to meet people who can mentor you. Those are the areas that develop the brain, the mind, and everything. So, and then while they are doing that, they go through some challenges, rigors, and that prepares them for the future.
Okay.
So, if the parents are not ready to give them the tutelage, to expose them, to also make them to read wide, because it's not just in the theory that you read, you must expose them to reading various books, novels, and the like. In fact, international authors talking about autobiographies, how some people have been successful in life. All those things are germane. So it is not just one-shot approach.
Okay, no, not one size fits all.
No,
okay,
no.
Dr. Phillips, do you think we have role models, good role models in the country for these young ones?
That's a huge one. That's a big one. Before, some decades back, the society actually intentionally brought forward people that can count for genuine role models. You hardly will get a chieftaincy title if you have not really made your mark, you actively to earn it. You hardly. But is that a scenario today? No. What we celebrate is materialism, and the society flows with it. I remember just last year, a particular pressure group stood out and said, "Oh, no, not in this community. These people that you are awarding chieftaincy titles, they are not role models, but you are rewarding them." So the young ones that are going, we want to explore what pathway took them to this social acceptance. So the role models are there. People that can serve as role models are there. But the society brought them out.
Are they encouraged?
Is the society saying these are the type of people we honor?
Okay.
So if you ditch all your accolades to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, or even outright criminals, you are saying we accept this in our society.
Okay, let me talk to our fellow. You know, public relations is about analyzing trends and predicting consequences. What do you advise our youth to do? You know, because you can, work yourself, choose for yourself good mentors books and everything that you've referenced.
Well, there has been a lot of deterioration in the society. And then, you know, when it is what the youth are open to, what their eyes are open to, that they believe that is the right way. But meanwhile, I would advise them that they should try and expose themselves to people who have provided service, people who have helped humanity in life. They should go and study them and find out what has made them to believe in developing communities, in developing individuals, in ensuring that life of an individual matters to nation building. So those are the areas that the youth must find out. Those people who, like Professor Wale Yinka, who they established an institution and was able to also build individuals who are today leaders in so many fields. So I will urge them to ensure that they should do away with things that are just frivolous. They should begin to look at people who have made a mark in building the nation through their selfless services. And that's the way forward.
Okay.
So rather than even look at this program that we are talking about, that we are in now. This is educative, exposing the world to so many people, the world of public relations. And when we talk about the world of public relations, it exposes everything about life. So this kind of program should have been sponsored rather than the dancing competition and all those things. So we want to encourage even companies to begin to look into areas where people, of course, they are doing it. We are seeing where they go to institutions and then giving skill acquisition to students and then artisans. So those are just, they must be ready to provide free service. It is in that free service that they can be able to learn and then get themselves prepared for the work.
Dr. Phillips, you referenced the stakeholders earlier on. How can we really improve our value system?
What are the things that
we can do?
More complex is for us to explore what took us here. What are those values and virtues that gave us a name as a people?
Time honored,
time proven, time tested value that gave us a name as a people. Honesty, integrity. How are we as stakeholders promoting them? Promoting those values. I mean, if it's now that you will hear that, oh, if I see money, I will take it. 20 years ago, that will not even cross
your mind.
But what have we consumed that changed us? That we think that is acceptable. It's now that if you have workers, you know 60-70% are looking for loopholes within your business to undermine the business because they didn't come to work. What did they feed on? Who fed them that they now accepted that lifestyle as ideal within the society? Every one of us have contributed to it. The politicians have contributed to it. The clergy have contributed. Even parents have contributed to it to now validate that non-ideal lifestyle as now ideal.
How do we change the narrative?
We walk back. So where do people learn? People learn from clergy. They learn from leaders. They learn from religious settings. What messages are we passing? Not just verbalization, but by example, demonstration. By example, we say your actions are so loud that I cannot hear your voice. So if we agree, look at when we had a regime that said war against indiscipline. Look at where we were, and then how we transited to be better citizens in just a space of few months. So we have the capacity, but someone has to build the cap.
Okay. So what's your recommendation to our fellow?
Well, I will rather implore our youth to engage themselves in entrepreneurial activities, and then for government to also develop so many structures for them to be able to learn all those things. Because in entrepreneurship, they get to understand life.
Okay.
They get to learn how to adapt to situations. And then when they are in the industry, they can now be able to apply those things that they have learned. Even if they are not in the industry, they themselves can be able to earn and have a future for themselves. So I want to advise the youth to begin to look down on few things. They must be ready to sacrifice. They must be ready to ensure that where they see somebody growing in skills, they should be there to get their own take, so that life will not abandon them when things are difficult.
Dr. Phillips, your last word now. Advice to government, to youth,
to the government,
to people,
to the
leaders,
government,
opinion leaders.
Count your citizen worthy of a good life. Worthy. Do not deprive them. It's not complex. It's commitment. If you are committed,
priority,
you will get them to that destination. Right. That's for government. For parents, model right value. Most parents are no more there. Clergy, model. Don't just say do what I say. Don't do what I do.
Examples are better than precepts.
Examples are louder than precepts. Traditional leaders. Who are you honoring in your society? Who are you honoring?
And why are you
honoring them? Do they meet the credibility factor for you to validate them with all those presidency titles?
Okay. And probably we should also examine the leadership. Because so many people are leading and they are not leading well.
Yeah.
So that's another course for us.
That's a topic for another day. I'd like to thank you for honoring our invitation, Dr. Sonny Phillips.
You're welcome.
Our fellow Mr. Okudero, you're welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and that's the size of the package for today. Until next week, when we call you again with a fresh edition of the program. This is yours sincerely, Dari Folani, saying bye for now.